Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Turn Right Machine Works. My name is Keith, and here we are. We're working back on the Rutland lathe today, and this is, I believe, Let's Look Under the Old Girl's Apron, Part 12. Now we have the back of the lathe here sitting up, and we have the new face for the new on and off switch here, which will also illuminate, and we have there's a brand new bulb and the back part of the switch. We've got both the harnesses here. We've got the old harness and we have the new harness that we're putting together, and we're trading out the wiring right here. We're getting rid of some old spaghetti and we're putting in some new spaghetti, and then after that we'll go ahead and we'll put all the buttons into the case here, and we'll do some zip tie, and we'll make some things really nice and neat. That's kind of what we want. We want to get this ready here before we head back over the lathe. Then we're going to be putting in the motor, and we're going to be hooking up this to that, the switch control on the front of the lathe to the back, and the main power coming down, and also the power from the motor back up to the control box, and renewing all the wiring and getting it set up so that it's in a neat fashion and can be serviced or just continue lasting for the life that I have the lathe here anyway. Alright, let's bring you in a little closer, just get a picture of what I'm doing here for the final couple wires that I'm exchanging here, and then we'll get the buttons up into the cover here. Okay, here's the new switch, and of course the other half of this switch, the forward facing, is in the case right now, and the light bulb. Here's the light bulb. I just undid the light bulb because I didn't want to break anything while we were switching wires. Not that we're being rough or anything else. Okay, we only have a couple. We have two more leads coming in here, 3 and 4. This one here is 4. We're working on 3 right now, and what we do is we go ahead and we cut this loose from here, and we go ahead and pop off this 3 numbered insulator on here, because we're sliding all of these onto the new wires so we can keep the numerical order. And this wire actually says number 3, number 3, number 3 all the way. So we kept the numbers, the wire numbers, together on this project. And got the proper fittings. We still use slip spades versus rings. We don't really have a problem with things coming undone or vibration. Alright, now this and this one here will go together. Right there, and they in turn go into here. Okay, and now these will go into this one. Right here. And then this third one goes on over here. It actually broke off in the removal of all this. It might have been a loose fitting as well, but it broke loose. This is the jog button that I'm actually putting this on here now. Okay, and the last wire that comes out of this right here is number 4, and we double check, and that's the number 4 on there. Okay, we can now we'll unscrew this. There we go. We'll still cut it free here. Alright, and the number 4 slips on there. If I don't get a clean slip on here, there we go. Okay, and there we go. Okay, and there's our new harness, and here's our old harness. That and that collection. Okay, and we're doing away with that old switch there that the light failed on it, and it still worked, but we're going to retire it. Alright, now to get these into the cabinet, and if we have to pull one of these wires one at a time and get it in a nice, neat, uniform shape, because these switches basically all go in a row. Actually, they go in a row just like this: top, jog, or emergency stop, jog, and then just power light at the bottom. And we'll get these all zip tied so it's a nice uniform wad of wires. Okay, I zip tied. These are the 2 keepers right here. I reaffixed those a long time ago when I first got the lathe there, but I got new zip ties here, and the lead comes up here as far as it did before. And I kind of did the same thing as they did originally, and that was bring up and zip tie the pads so that everything kind of hangs in here. You can quickly zip tie or unzip tie these, and you can have a little freedom to pull out that individual switch, undo it, and replace it, or work on it, or change a bulb in it, or whatever you want to do. But nothing is like hanging out here that can get caught in the rest of the rotating units there. You have the spindle here. Most of the change gears are down in this area here, and then of course you have the electric motor over in this area here. For right now, until we get some kind of a break in on this machine, we don't know what we're going to be doing with this cover in respect to that. But this is all neatened up here right now, and this is just my debris here. And of course, that's what it'll look like. Let me see right there. Okay, so we have illuminated on and off switch, our emergency stop. This is a jog button, and then this is just a power light, just to let you know that the whole system does have energized power to it, so you can secure it if you need to work on it. Okay, we are back here at the back of the Rutland lathe again, and we set our back cover and switch holders up on the stool here, and here's the lead here. We actually gave this a little bit extra, and we're going to be playing with the routing of this extra because we wanted to be able to pull this off and then comfortably. It was like it was too short before, and you don't have too many options on setting your piece down or putting it in a temporary holding spot while you play with gears on the back or do any maintenance back here. Now these 2 cables right here, the motor goes here, and here's the pulley coming right down here. So we need to locate these, and we decided and came up with, we want to hold these back here on the back of the machine here, and this could be reversed in order here and crisscross on the top, whatever. They're going to be side by side. What we thought we'd come up with, and we already cut out a sample just for practice here. This is 1/16 aluminum. We're going to cut this out of 1/8 because we have 2 grommets that are 1/8, and these grommets can go over these 2 lines right here. And let's just say that we're going to put that one on that side there, and this one on this side here, and we're able to pop the grommets in and then pop them into the housing. And I have a little blue dot right here, and I'm already planning on having that drilled and tapped right there, and this is going to hold the cables so that the motor can lift and adjust. It only moves a minute amount. All right, and then this will tuck into the rest of the way there, and we'll plan out the right order so that these aren't crisscrossing, but these will be able to pull that cover off and maintain a safe position for the wiring to go. We may flip-flop these around. We'll take a look at how it is, and then we're going to be setting the motor up here, getting an idea of what we're going to do with the extra amount of cable that we want to have in here, so that we can set that off and onto the floor, or onto a blanket or something right down on the floor without having to have another stool. Before, we had to have a block in here to put that down and rest it on something upside down, and I think now we can just go right to the floor. And I like to keep it to where we don't have to go get something special to set it down. We want to be able to pull it off, set it down, do what we need to do, put it back on there. All right, so let's go over to the plasma cam, and we're going to cut ourselves out a new part, this exact part, only in 1/8 inch aluminum, and then we'll deburr it a little bit, take off the dross off the backside like we did here. We'll put this in a vise and hammer over the angle there, just because 1/8 is a little thick for my finger brake. So let's go cut us out a new one. And then we're going to come back and we're going to drill and tap that hole. Then we'll play around with wire position before we actually create the ends on this wire here and put this thing to bed. Okay, we're all set up, ready to cut. We're going to be cutting out in this little area above the square. Let me bring you in a little bit here. Okay, we're going to be cutting right in that area right there. Here we go. Okay, let's reach in and grab our part. Okay, nice uniform part, nice clean, and that diameter will let us put a 1/4 inch bolt in there. Okay, we got some flaky dross that's on the back side here, and we're just going to go hit that real quick with a sander. Okay, we just went and got everything, and we set down our drill motor that we're going to run that drill in. But here we go. We're going to center punch this thing first. So I'm just coming up here, general area. Let's go like this, just so we don't accidentally hit our lead. And here again, we're using our new favorite hammer, and we like that spot right there. All right, let me go get my drill motor now. All right. All right, here we go. We're gonna put a rag here and tape it up here because we don't want that filing. This is all cleaned up. We don't want to mess it up now. All right, this doesn't have to be expensive either. Okay, this could be as cheap as a paper towel and a piece of this blue masking tape. That's as cheap as a little cofferdam here will do. Actually, not a cofferdam, but definitely not going to let anything go in there. Of course. Okay. you think we might be able to now? Okay, I'm just gonna eyeball that right there. There's nothing behind that wall right there. Okay, look at that. Our mess is all down on the napkin here and not on our machine. That was a pilot for 1/4 inch, and there we go. And we're just going to tap this out here. Okay, we're going to pick up our mess here now. Nice and clean. Okay, 1/4 inch hex head. I think a 1/4 inch Allen is socket head. Allen's going to be what we want to put right there. I'm going to go find one. Okay, I found one. It's in good condition. It's not brand spanking new, but okay, I just want to make sure that it'll tighten all the way down to the surface, so it's going all the way through, and I know I can tighten it down. Okay, it does bottom out. Okay, and I kind of decided, because this cord here is coming off of the backside here, and instead of creating a crisscross on it, I'm gonna bring this one to the left side, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna undo these 4 leads right here, and I'm gonna move this wire from this location to the next location, and this one can come in here, and I'll just strip these wires back, and they might be far enough already so that they can reach from this port over to the 1, 2, 3. I mean, they only have to go that far, so should be no problem. That way they come out of here, and they stay all parallel all the way. It'll look more uniform, and there's a better chance of us getting this to come down and be in a safer location underneath the motor. Even if we have to put another hold down out in this area out here. All right, let's go ahead and switch this over. All right, I just brought this wiring out here so that I can pull these ends off of here, and you can see that. Look at, I just bent that blue wire, and it just cracks. And this yellow one here, okay, is actually, you can see down in there, that's broken. All right, so what I'm doing now is okay, I'm gonna put it up here. What I'm doing now is I'm going ahead and cutting these wires, and I'm gonna be putting these numbered tags on these wires and put these ends on here now. We've got this is already switched over. I haven't connected these yet, but this will be going to this side here, and this will be going to this side here, something like that. That looks more appropriate right there. But the first thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and get these ends on here and bring that on down to where I can tie these in here, and then we'll play around with what we're gonna do with this wiring right here. All right, and there's number 3 on the number 3 wire. It is nice having wired numbered wires, and also numbered wires that are good quality and they're legible. And the last one is 4, and we still double check on it, making sure that we didn't screw up. And That's what we see on there, number 4s. Okay, and the last one on here is a number 4. Okay, that wire is in the trash. And our number 4. It's a lot easier to see those little tags than it is to see the numbers on there, especially once the wiring starts getting old. But I know it's like doubled up on protection, but hey, it's there, it's free. Why not throw it on there? Okay. And it didn't have a tag, but the blue wire that came out of there is number 7, and number 7 is one of the first leads that will go on here and doubles up. The rest of these are 1, 2, 3, 4, and then these are 5, 6, 7. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put this at the right height here now, and I think it can go right there. Doesn't need to come up any higher. Keep some finger clearance inside here, just enough to where we know that it's not going to be real close to the clamp. It gives it about an inch away from the clamp. Okay, both of those are really secure. Okay, I'm dying to see what this is going to look like, so let's... Here's our Allen, our wrench to tighten that up, and it's not too tight to where we won't be able to slide them to where they're comfortable. Okay, they got flex. They got room to flex in there. That's nice. I actually might turn the grommets slightly sideways if I can. They're pretty snug in there because of the way we made that. Oh, no worries. Okay, and that one just gets pushed in there like that. All right. We'll get the motor up here before I plan anything else. We'll get a good look at this, and then we're going to practice putting this side on and off, and we'll see what we need to do. All right, I'm going to go ahead and button up these wires right here so we can put both of these leads completely to bed. Okay, a word of wisdom, only stick your scribe in the hole if there is no power connected to the machine. Okay, so I mean, I'm having to hold 2 leads up in here on number 4 just like number 7, but I've got all of these in here, and I needed to hold the back one up, making sure that I had the full spade contact in there. Okay, all right. And the little tag, I'm not going to make sure all the little tags are lined up, but every lead does have a tag on it except for that one for number 7, and that's a color wire difference, which the other one was blue, same thing. All right, so all of the controls, the switch and the on and off buttons and everything else are all completely wired up right now. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to set our motor up here, and we're going to take a look at our leads. Okay, and I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and get the bolts and put the bolts in here and get this set up. I need to do the pulley up here. I want to go ahead and drill and tap 2 holes in it so that I can put a puller on here and I can pop that in and out. We're going to be doing something with a brake, and I want to be able to pop that on and off easier. I don't like just tapping on the screw or whatever. It's a taper fit. It needs to fit tight, and I want to make sure that I can pull it off fine. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to set this, and we'll set the belt up in line, and then we'll be able to decipher what we're going to do here. But that does look pretty comfortable. It comes underneath here, and it's completely away from the belt right now. We got to put this up here and see what happens with this. And even if it hangs out here in a nice loop and we have to put another zip tie in there, we'll do it. Okay, we slid our vise over that side of the mill table. We put our index head up here, and we got it set so we can swing it from 0 to 180, give us 2 holes exactly. Now it doesn't matter. I mean, we're shooting for 3.5 inches, which will put it center of this and give us some kind of automatic, so that when we go to make a puller or grab one of our pullers, we know that as long as we can span that 3.5, we'll be able to push against the bolt in the center, and we'll be able to pop this thing loose. All right, so let me zoom you in here, and we're just going to drill and tap 2 holes. Okay, let me get the 3/8 tap. Come around to the other side. All right, there we go. All right, let's get the vacuum cleaner so we can grab some of those ductile iron chips here. Okay, we've got our 2 tapped holes, so we know we can pull it off easy. Now we're not afraid to put it on there pretty good. Okay, I want to skim the file through there a little bit. I want this thing to actually slide a little bit better on that key. I don't want it to be bound up. All right, we pulled that out. We slid it through here, and this bore looks pretty clean. So we're happy with it. It's sliding a little freer. All right, we know it's nice and solid. And we go ahead and we shine a light in here, and we steer in and make sure we can see some light. Okay, we do. Alright, now we can put our bolt in. We are going to put a little never seize on this bolt right here. Okay, I'm going to go get that. Okay, you assemble your taper fits dry. If you put a lubrication in there, you will create a hydraulic lock, even if it's temporary. But once that hydraulic lock kind of breaks in, dissipates or whatever, then you have a loose fit. All right, I'm going to get the wrench there. We're going to dab some paint on that after it's all tight and is this the right one? Yeah, there we go. All right, we like that. Now we can go ahead and take a straight edge, align our pulley. We can pull this off of here after we loosen that set screw. Okay, there we go. Now it's actually stuck in the key. Let's go ahead and let's fit the key. Let's fit the key right. Might have been just a little bit of paint, fresh paint from painting that. Okay, all right, we're gonna go okay, I can see the set screw now. So set screw was in there and it was in this way right here. Let's see if that makes a difference. That slides pretty good, but that shouldn't slide. That should tap into that keyway there. So let's make that a little firmer. Okay, now we're happy with that. That's good. Straight edge. Okay, we're happy with that. We're going to leave this flush because we want it to be flush. We know that it came off and it was flush. We were real close. The bolt holes right here are in the center of all the play. All right, I'm coming off of this face right here and I'm measuring over to the back side because this case from here around to here is pretty equal. So I'm going to come over here and I got like 2860, 2875, something like that. And right here, I'm right about the same thing, 2870, 2875. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and tighten up the two back bolts right here so that I keep this in line, and then we're going to see if we can pivot it up and put that belt on and then let it back down in that position. If not, we'll have to move it forward or aft, but right now we got a nice swivel and it seemed to be in a comfortable spot right here. Okay, this is our new belt here we got for it. Let's see, I think getting it in here first. There we go. Then lift the motor up. There we go. Let the motor down. Still got some good clearance underneath here for the wire so far, and that looks good. It's up off of here about a finger height. I can pull my rag out of there finally. Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tighten up these two on this side here, and I'm gonna put the tensioner in here and just give it a little tension, not much. Nice. How cool is that, huh? Nice. And clearance under. You got clearance under here. This really looks nice and straight. Okay, and now time to put the adjuster in, and we're able to put it down in there and then screw it straight up here. And just flush with the top's good, I would say, huh? Okay, I'll take a spanner, tighten that up. All right. We're just pulling on the belt here to make it run up and down. Okay, I'm not gonna be like pushing major power or anything else on here. I'm just gonna go ahead and just. There we go. All right, I like that. Okay, now we can get back to our electrical again, and we got two more cables to put in. We got our power that's going to be coming out of the ceiling, and we'll be coming around and going into this port here and connecting up to 3 here, and then we have 4 other legs that will come out of this. We're gonna bring a lead. It's gonna go right through our bracket and come around here and curve and go right into here. Nice neat little package. Now this is all open, and We got nice, sturdy, rigid clamps. Nothing's going to be moving around. And I think our cable that's going to come up from our power, we're going to incorporate that into some kind of the tree and everything else from our other wiring that comes down for the readout and the readout post and everything else. So it's all going to be tucked in nice and neat. So nothing's going to be sticking out here in the middle of the walkway. Be as neat as possible as far as what we can get. All right, we can take a quick look and see how this back is going to slide on here, and where this pigtail here, this excess here, is going to go. Whether it slide out and go underneath here, I mean, there's not going to be, the belt will stretch a little bit. This will probably come down a little bit. We have a little bit on our slot here. We can still come out this way a little bit, another 1/4 inch. That'll always keep that in a positive grip there. But yeah, that's one heck of a lot better than it was. Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to take this off the chair here. See, with this long lead right here, we'll be able to go ahead and actually set this thing right on the wooden floor, possibly a rag, and you can get to this without worrying about your electrical. Okay, now when we pick it up and we put it on our machine here, does it stay safe from the leads? And if we make sure we put a zip tie right here, that's fine. That's all 100% out of the way. That's doable right there. That's cool. Hey, for right now, let's just enjoy our cover being on here now, and we'll go ahead and play with our electrical here. Awesome. Okay, we're going to go ahead and hook up the pecker head here first. And the first one we're going to attach is the one that needs the ring, which actually will come over here, and it helps hold down the bus bar there for the fittings. And we're going to tuck that one on the way back side there. And we got to get our scriber in here. Here again, don't stick your scribe in a hole unless the power's cut. Okay, M6 wasn't connected. It was just laying in here, but I want to make sure that I have got a good covering. I may want to use this spade or whatever option, but I'm wrapping it up really good here, and then I'm just tucking it underneath over here like this. And the other three, those are connected up, and the little wire symbols I slid over the end, just like everything else. Now, before I shut this up, just want to make sure this was the one not used, and it actually it was locked down, and we're just making sure that everything is tensioned. A lot of things were loose. I tightened up a lot in the other area up on this bus bar up here, but there we go. Okay, that's nice and tight. I got a cover here somewhere. Here it is. Okay, and here's a screw that goes in there. There we go, and tight. Remember how loose that other piece was? And this is actually a little bit shorter piece. This wiring is unbelievable. Nice flex wire, but finer winds of wire going through the insulation, and a harder shield on the outside, but flexible, more durable, I should say. Okay. Okay, a couple more minutes and we're going to take all of these leads here and they just go right on through here. RSE and then M5U. M6 is not used, so that'll just leave that one loose. V and that's the rest of these. All right, let me get these buttoned up. Okay, I think I got everything here, and we're just gonna go. We're just going down the row here. We're just gonna make sure that everything is tight here again. This is where you'll run into problems sometimes, and that's things loosen up through vibrations of the machine. And see, we think if we're going to be running 3-phase on this thing, we'll be picking up that M6 leg there, and I might have to do something else here, but we'll quarter turn on some of these. I didn't mess with that side. I only put in I put these in and tighten all of these down, and they're all tight. I don't think I have any loose ones here at all. I think they're sound. Smaller screwdriver. Just gonna make sure that some of this thing looks a little sketchy. I mean, you know, that looks a little sketchy in there, but I mean, this lathe was working when these all seem to be pretty tight. I'm just gonna spot check these. All the contactors seem to be right tight. All right. Yeah, make sure both of these on the fuse here. Those are good. How about anything on this side? Well, that one's loose. Oh, there's no wire on it. That's why. All right. A little bit on that one. A little bit on that one. Okay. All right. Okay, let's close that. Let's hook up our main lead from the overhead. And we'll go flip a breaker and we'll see what we got. Okay. I just engaged the emergency stop. All right, you keep an eye on this here. I'm going to go flip the breaker and then come back and we'll see what we got. Here we go. All right, didn't pop. I don't see any smoke. We got a green light. That's a good sign. Okay, we're in neutral. All right, emergency stop is off. On button, new one, illuminates. Forward. Okay, I'm either not traveling far enough for reverse to engage, or I get a lead off. Okay, also here, jog. Okay, jog does go in reverse. Okay. Hey, not bad, not bad. It does go in reverse. Okay, so somewhere in this switch, okay, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go shut off the power, because I'm not going to pull that cover and slide it back and try to get to that switch right now, and then I'll trace out from here to the other side. Okay, we slid our rod back here, so that, and we pulled our cover off. Okay, and then I was able to go ahead and I can click the switch. What I was worried about was this hitting, was the handle hitting and not all the way fully engaging this. So that's what I wanted to check out, and we're real happy so far. Everything is fine there, and here again there's forward. Okay, and we are not getting anything in reverse. Okay, so we've eliminated the stroke or the handle position, and now we're going to troubleshoot that switch. One thing that's nice is we got extra wire on this lead now, and we'll be able to pull that out and get it out here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shut it down again, and I'm going to unscrew the switch and then bring it and make sure the leads are here, and then make sure that the contact is good in the switch. Alright, so let me go shut this off one more time. Okay, we got the little switch out here, and we've been super analyzing this, and anyway, we were able to go ahead and test this out, and we actually have a faulty switch. Now I'm going to bring you in here close, and then we're going to go look inside the control section of the box in here where all the leads run into, and I'm going to show you how I came about being able to perform a test by switching a couple leads here and proving that the reverse side, and actually I did, I temporarily also got it to run in both directions, but it was opposites. So when I flipped over the leads, there was a little bit of life left in the contact somewhere, and it actually gave me two directions, but in the wrong directions. I switched the leads back over to be in the right direction, and it's acting up again. And I did get it to run a couple times in the right direction. We're zoomed into the switch right here. We basically got four leads coming in here: a 7, a 6. This is a 5 and a 4. Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7 are our leads coming in. Okay, this one on the back is just a crisscross. This switch has 4 poles. There's 2, and that's 4, and over here is 1 and 3. All right, so the crossover from here 2 to 4, and so anyway, we have power coming in here, and then power leaving here in another combination. And so I knew that, but I don't know how the switch works here. And with it all hooked up, you can't just do a test to check continuity and rotation of the switch while the wires are on. Okay, so what I did is I went ahead and took a look inside the control panel. Let's go look inside there. Okay, I'll try to make this fast and simple. This is power coming in. Okay, so these 3 leads right here heading on up into this first main contactor. This contactor controls the, basically the transformation for power going to the transformer itself, and then these jumping back over for the power to be controlled by these 2 contacts, which are linked up to combinations that cross over the legs, so that you can flip the polarity going, or the current going to the motor to create forward and reverse. then they come down through here and they go down through these three, minus this M6. And I believe this is a 220 single phase, and I believe adding, or there might be a jumper you might have to move. You might have to move something, but I believe you can also use this for 3-phase, and I'd be very interested if somebody actually had the scoop to let me know about that, because I may be actually putting 3-phase on this thing. All right, the next set of wires here, 1, 2, 3, are wires that are controls from your on-off switch, and actually tell the transformer currents to be engaged and light up the lights and have your on and off control and emergency stop type of connection. And then your 4, 5, 6, and 7 are your signals that are controlling direction through, controlling the actual contacts that switch these big dudes here. I'll just put it in that language. How's that? So anyway, you have one side that actually is the emergency side of it, on off and controlling its power to it, and the other side is controlling the direction. Okay, so the switch has got 4, 5, and 6. So I traced out the wires, and everything has got little numbers on them there to let you know where they're at. Okay, so 7 lead comes up to here. We got 5 over here. We got 4 over here. Those are 3 going to the relays themselves. All right, and the main power is actually for 7. So 7, I'm pretty sure, is going to be the controlling power into the switch. 6 dubs up with 3 over in this doodad. All right, so 6 is the second leg going into the switch, and 4 and 5 are the ones that come back out and actually split the difference of controlling this or this relay. Okay, and that's the ones that you need to flip over to test the switch for forward and reverse. So that's, after super analyzing this here, I'm able to go over there without looking at a wire schematic and get a big pair and flip over those 2 wires and make the test. So let's go back there and let's do that. Okay, should have a green light on now. Okay, bring over my seat here. Okay, and just, well, I don't have a Sharpie here, but I got an idea. Okay, I just want there you go, just something on the spindle so that you can see that. I know that you got the switches, you got the light here, okay, and so we take the E switch off here. We got power up there. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and kill that power for a second, because here's my screwdriver. Actually, first let's go ahead and show you what we actually got. This is the same. I'm just gonna clamp on here because I got this little controller right here. Okay, we're on. Pulling it down is forward. Okay, flipping it back this way is reverse, but reverse is not making a contact. I have periodically got it to make a contact, but it won't all the time. All right, so let's go ahead and break that off of there. And what I'm going to do here is I got to move that 6 wire out of the way there. Okay, we're going to pull out 5, and we're going to pull out 4 here. And these are the 2 that go back and control those two relays. Okay, I'm going to put 4 in there. And I'm going to put 5 in here. Okay. Okay, so 5's over there, 4's over there. All right. Back power back on. Pulling it down towards me, should be reverse. Okay, it is going in reverse. And no forward. Okay, so it's not going to give me any life left. Alright, we come in here to the welding table and we laid out a nice towel here, and we have our little vise, and we're going to clamp this thing in down, and we're going to take it apart. This control selector switch is what actually controls the forward and reverse directions for the lathe. Alright, one of the first things I did, because this is a stack up, and I'm presuming that these two are the screws that go through and stack it up. You can see the casting that goes under those contact areas there, and you can see the hump, the same hump over here. So I'm going to stand this thing up. I think this is just an adapter plate so that this plate right here could bolt to the guide for the rod that controls this, and then the set screw comes in on that little. So they simplified everything else, and I got online, and this switch is not readily available at this moment, but we can go in and we can buy other rotary switches that will give us the same contacts and the same action as this one does here. But this was, you know, the amount of stroke and everything else that comes into the cam action of this, and I think that's what it is. It's just actuated by cams inside. Okay, now this lead here and this one here, this was the number 4 wire, which was the reverse wire. This was the forward wire, and 6 came into here and 7 came into there. But these two right here were the ones that I could switch number 4 over to 5 and then get it to run in reverse. So I think there's a contact in this section right here that we may be finding the problem. So anyway, let's go ahead and we're gonna pull this jumper off of here, because I think we're gonna tear this thing on down, and we know that goes between number 4 and number 2 here. Okay, and that screw came out of there. Right there. We're gonna put that. We just did that. Okay. Just for right now, I don't know if we need to have these on here, but I don't want things falling apart if it just because it has a screw up. Okay. I don't know why, but there's one silver and one plated screw back here. Get this set in the vise here. Okay. Now we can pull things off of here, and we're gonna lay them out in order here. Okay, that looks pretty cool. They leave a lot of fit in here, so alright, well, this is loose, so I don't want to shake it up here. And I only want to pull, okay, the cap. Okay, it's got 2 registers for those screw pieces there. It has little slots that actually hold these contacts in here. And there's a set of contacts over here and a set of contacts over here, and that contact right there is, I'm wondering if I can get something to turn. I don't want to mess up. That's a bushing, that's a bearing, little bearing surface right there. And I'm going to get my meter too, because I want to check continuity, because I think when this flips down, I want to watch the path of current here. Okay, I said path of current, but it's actually path of continuity. Okay, so that switches through that direction there. I wonder if I can actually pull that contact out of there. I'm going to get some needle nose pliers, and I want to look at the surfaces of those before each one of these layers has got, everything's kind of like lays into each section here, and I just don't want a whole bunch of parts bouncing out all over the table. Also, before I even touch this any farther, I'm going to take a photograph here so I can actually have a photographic map of how this thing is actually going together layer for layer. Okay, we got a set of tweezers, and there we go. And these ride back and forth in this slot right here, okay? And this will be going this way here, so let me just make sure that yeah, okay, everything goes down in there fine. All right. Okay, I'm going to hold this on here now, like this, and we're going to turn the switch, which would be activating it in reverse. Okay, that would be in reverse now. And that allows this to go in here in the detent now, and that closes that contact there that we just checked, which would be number 4 right here, making that contact through here. Okay, it's making it through that contact. This link over here. God loves me today. I had this thing down to parade rest, and it's funny when I get under a certain amount of stress there, I not that I'm worried. I I don't. I had to put my microphone down. I had to get the tripod out of the way because those little springs in there popped out, and I've chased them all over the place. All right, so 3 times behind the bench, and then finally I thought I had it all back together. I was making one adjustment, and I rotated the thing, and I heard I caught the contacts, but the spring took off, and I heard it. I thought I hit one of the rafters over by the plasma table, and I went over there just to take a quick look, and then I thought, well, okay, I'll grab the spring out of the other side, and we'll go down to the hardware store, and we'll just try to match it up as close as possible, just trying to get the spring pressure and tension and all of that. And then I glanced over on the middle of the plasma table, and there that spring was, laying right there in the middle of the top. So I'm glad I had those drapes that I put all around my part to keep the draft. Otherwise, it would have went into the sump of the plasma cutter, and you wouldn't have found it there. All right, so I got this thing back together, and the adjustment is because there's cogs, 2 cogs in each level here, and I had one. I pulled it out and it fell, so I didn't know exactly which way it went in. So I had to super analyze it. And anyway, I come out. Okay, this is where 7 contact. All right, here's 4. Nothing that way. Ringing that way. Okay, and here's 5. On that way. Nothing this way. All right, so I've got the switch making continuity where it's supposed to be. And we got the jumper back in here the way it is. Our match marks are all back in there. And every component that I took out of this thing is back in here. I don't know if I got the square the same way, because the square went all the way out. And then I actually had to take, at the very beginning, there's spring detents, and that's what actually holds this thing, super tension. And then there's a clocking, 2 little clocking pointers, and you have to set that to limit so that you can't go past. You can't go past there. It limits it. Okay, so I put those in place, put this thing over in the lathe, and then I swung the lathe handle up and down to make sure I had all of that straight in my head, and then I started stacking this components on up. And all right, we checked it out. The contacts look good on every one of the spots there. I don't know what was in there, what was not causing it to. But we jarred, or we moved something around, and we gave it some new tension or whatever it is, and this checks out now. So we're getting ready. We're gonna go put this in the lathe and hook up our wires and see what we got, and hopefully we got the problem solved. We pulled the panel off of here because we've been chasing this around. We put the switch back in, and we're not getting direction control in reverse. So we pulled the number 4 wire off, and we just tried it singly. And also, we do know that when you engage this, you have reverse jog. So energizing the contactors is happening on the number 4 terminal, and we've proven that. And we've also got the switch to periodically work for us. Now, we just discovered what our problem is. Let me zoom you in over here. Okay, let me grab my seat here. Clear the screen right here. Okay. All right. We're energized now. And with that terminal tightened down and everything else, number 4. Number 4 is on this side right here. Number 5's here. All right. And we pull it down, we got forward. We lift it up, we have no reverse. Okay? Now I'm going, hey, how come this thing all works over there on the bench and then it doesn't work over here? Well, if we take and we just barely loosen that terminal up. Maybe a little bit more. Forward. Reverse, 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 reverse. But as soon as you tighten this up, no reverse. Okay, so we're gonna go pull this out, up the top cap off again, and we're gonna look at it being tightened up and loose, and we're gonna see which way we're gonna have to bend the little ear on the contact to get it back into, so that when it's tightened down, the spring actuated contact is connecting with that. So evidently it's holding just a minute little gap. When you tighten this down, it's holding it over and it's holding it out of the way, and so that's why this switch is not working. All right, so let's go back to the bench and get this squared away, because I'm anxious to put this in here and get moving on to something else. All right, we're all set. The switch, and it was, I went inside and I bent the little prong so to get the contacts. So I made sure that those were working fine. But the way that that connector comes down in there, I was sucking it in so hard that it was pushing, when you tighten it down, it was pushing it out, so away from the spring load there. So that's why when you tighten it down. So I brought that spade in the other direction. It was a little tighter getting it in the box, but it was more comfortable for the spade to be in there, and it causes no interference. We have plenty of reverse, and our jog in reverse, everything working on, off, the emergency stop switch, the lights back up, and contacts. I like that. Back here, that sucks into contact there, and if you're jogging, then you're jogging, so, and that's number 4 right there, and that's number 5, excuse me, and on the wire it's number 4 for reverse. We're gonna have to try that out. If we go ahead and we move that leg over, that one leg over to the opposite side here, number 5, will that make it jog in a forward position? Hey, let me get my screwdriver. Let's find out. Okay, okay. Okay, we pull out number 4. This is the back number 4. Okay, and we put number 4 back in here. Okay, we pull out number 5 here. A little tag stuck. Okay, pull out number 5. We slip this jog 4 under the 5. Okay, now I should have jog in forward by just switching that wire over to that lead there. So let's go ahead and test that out. Okay, power's on. Okay, jog. Look at that, jogging forward. Okay, I'm gonna leave it like that. To me, jogging forward makes more sense than jogging back. I like that. Our regular control, reverse, forward. All right, we're good to go. I can button this up and then do my final hookup on the main power coming into the machine here, because we just got an open box up there. We need to secure that, and we're going to tie in this lead to our digital readout. So we're going to be starting to get that set up here now because we've got power here now.